This is your guys' second method for factoring. This is for quadratics and it's for trinomials. The difference here is that your a is going to be a number bigger than 1. So it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever number that may be. So what you're going to do, this is called the slide, divide, bottoms up method. It's called that just to help you remember the steps to take. So step number 1, slide. So you're going to take your a and you're going to multiply it by your c and you're going to put it in the top of your x. And then you're going to take your b, put that in the bottom of your x. Then you're going to add or put your left and right factors like we did for our first method. And then you're going to put those into your factors. Step 2 is to divide. So whatever number your a is, you're going to divide your factors by a. You will simplify those factors, and then any ones that don't simplify, it's called bottoms up. So you're going to take the denominator and move it in the front for your leading coefficient. So let's see what that looks like. So step 1, slide. We're going to take this 7 and we're going to slide it back to the 4. And we're going to do a times c. So a is 7, b is 29, and c is 4. So a times c is 28. My b is 29. Now we need factors that multiply to give you 28, but add to give you 29. So that would be 28 and 1. And so I write down my factors, x plus 28 and x plus 1. So that's my first step, slide. Now, my second step is divide factors by your a. So whichever one you slid, we slid the 7, we're going to take 28 and divide by 7, and we're going to take 1 and divide by 7. Everything else will stay the same. 28 divided by 7 is 4. And then we can't simplify this one. And then when we have factors, we don't want it to be a fraction. So that's our last step, which is called bottoms up. So what that means, anything in the bottom or anything in the denominator, you move to the front. And it's the front of that factor. So the first one will stay the same. That one's all good. But we have to move this 7 in front of the x. So that becomes 7x plus 1. The 1 is, you got that from the numerator. So that just becomes your constant. And then that is your factored format. Okay, so let's try another one. You guys are going to be doing problems that look like this. They are from Delta Math. You guys will sign in with your email and your school password, and it has an assignment ready for you that's called Factor Trinomials with a greater than 1. And you can complete it on a piece of paper and then submit your answer into the database, and it will tell you if you're right or you're wrong. Okay, so this next one. I would first label my A, B, and C. So A is 5, B is -9, and C is 4. So what's my first step? We are going to slide. So we're going to take our A, and we are going to slide to the back. So what is 5 times 4? That is 20. And then the B goes on the bottom. Okay, so now I need multiples of 20. So let's see, what multiplies to give you 20? So we got 20 times 1. We got 4 times 5. We got 10 times 2. Yeah. And then we need one of these. Oh, yeah, -9. We need one of them to add up to -9. So if I add 20 and 1, that gives me 21. That one doesn't work. If I add 10 and 2, that gives me 12. That doesn't work. If I add 4 and 5, that gives me 9, which works. The only thing is we want -9, which means we're going to have to make this a -4 and a -5. So -4 and -5. So these are my factors, x minus 4 and x minus 5. Okay, so step 1, slide. Step 2, divide. And what are we going to divide by? We're going to divide by our a, which is 5. So divide by 5 and divide by 5. The first one does not simplify, so we'll leave it as is. And then the second one we can divide. So -5 divided by 5 is -1. And the last step is bottoms up. So we take anything that has a fraction, take the denominator, and move it up to the front. So that becomes 5x minus 4 and x minus 1. So that is the answer you would submit for this problem, and you would click check and it would tell you good job. Okay, a couple more. Okay, A equals 2, B equals 9, and C equals 9. What number goes at the top? We would do 2 times 9, which is 18, which will go at the top. And then we take our B and put that in the bottom. Okay, so now we're going to look for some factors. Factors of 18. So I have 1 times 18. I have 2 times 9. I have 3 times 6. So they need to add up to 9. 1 plus 18, that's not 9. 2 plus 9, that's not 9. 3 plus 6, that is 9. This is positive, so these will be positive. Okay, we did our slide. Now we're going to do our divide. And we are going to divide by our a, which is 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2. Six divided by 2 is 3. And then last step, bottoms up. Take the denominator, move it in front of your x, and that becomes 2x plus 3. X plus 3. If you wanted to write your answer as x plus 3 and 2x plus 3, that would also be fine. Okay, last one. If you want to try this one on your own, you can pause the video right now and then press play whenever you have it done. So let's see, A, B, and C. Okay, first step is slide. So we multiply multiply A times C. And then the bottom is 7. Okay, now we need some multiples. So we got 18 and 1. We have 2 and 9. And then we got 3 and 6. So these need to add up to 7. 18 plus 1, that won't give you 7. 3 and 6, that won't give you 7. 2 and 9, if you add them, that gives you 11. However, if you subtract them, that will give you 7. So we're going to use this one. We just need to figure out, okay, does 2 need to be positive or negative? Does 9 need to be positive or negative? So let's see. We're going to have a positive 7, which means our bigger number needs to be positive. And then our smaller number needs to be negative. So we'll double check. 9 times 2 is 18. And then 9 plus negative 2 is 7. So that works out. So we get x plus 9. Oh, I can write them here. 9 and negative 2. Okay, so slide, divide. What are we going to divide by? 3. And then we have to simplify here. 9 divided by 3 is 3. This one we cannot simplify. So that leaves our last step. Bottoms up. So take the denominator, move it to the front. 3x minus 2. That is your answer.